Anybody, and I mean anybody, can do a preview show. Take some special cats to do a preview show. You found those cats. Welcome in, everybody. 3 guys before the game. Episode number 567 or 68. We got a situation.
What?
We got a situation to develop there.
Are we out of sequence? Well, give or take.
I told Brad before we started rolling today, I said, I've screwed up the counting on this thing so many times. We may have already done 800. might be a situation. Anyway, this is what we do now. We're here, and we're getting close to the start of football and some other stuff, and so we're ready to do it. 3 guys before the game. The pre-Penn State preview is brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By GoMart. Get a GoMart rewards card and instantly begin to save on food and fuel. Get it off of their app or go to gomart.com. 3 guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. And 3 guys brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World.
World champions.
Yes, they are. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit and a special promotion coming up shortly.
Excuse me?
Yeah, coming up.
I'd like a couple of those right now.
Oh, you having a bad food day?
Well, hungry.
Yeah, we are.
He's worse than I am.
Been in a bad, 2-week rut.
Really?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
He can't get his schedule right.
Got scheduled, so I'm not having what I need around me during the day. So I'd eat that microphone right now if I had salt. Probably start on it.
You're not at the 3 guys training table? You haven't been to the 3 guys training table?
You get Tudor's hash brown and an egg on there, you'd eat it?
I guarantee I could eat 2 of those Mountaineers right now, line up.
Same.
And just feel good.
Same.
3 guys also brought to us by
Good.
Conley's.
Now I'm hungrier.
Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers.
Shouldn't Conley be handling, what show this is? I mean, that's...
We should have them audit the show numbers. Yes. That's a great call.
You think we should assign that to them?
Yeah, they should be auditing
they do a better job at keeping track than we would. That's for sure. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
thank you.
The way that we're counting these shows, I think we are going to get called in for an audit. Says right here that you did your 540.
But you really didn't.
Yeah, you really didn't
Ish.
do that. Do you have receipts on that?
I have to file an amended return on that.
Welcome to episode 571-ish. Start saying that.
Things went awry on the counting when Darren DeVries got hired, and I think we came in here on a Sunday and knocked a quick one out. You remember that?
Didn't count it?
I think that's where the thing kind
Didn't
of
register.
There was a discrepancy.
Did you double number something?
Oh,
or you
sure
skipped?
I'm sure I did.
Or all of those?
I'm sure I did. There was a discrepancy between me and I think one of our producers when they posted it. Like if they numbered it and I didn't number it because I didn't think a 10-minute one warranted being numbered because it wasn't a full episode. Anyway, that's where the thing went to heck in a handbasket.
It's like the West Virginia Pitt football series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or
different interpretations of
yes, yeah, exactly. Like Pitt says we played them this many times. West Virginia says they've played this many times.
Here's the thing. Don't worry about it. Don't obsess over it. It's right on brand for us.
Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely.
Why would we want it right? Yeah. All right, so we're moving toward the start of the season. We do have football games coming up this week. Not a whole lot, but Georgia Tech and Florida State play in Dublin in an ACC matchup. Overseas. I think that would be super fun. I don't know anything about this, but I would love West Virginia to play overseas in one of those games.
Would you?
Yeah, I really would. I think it would just be so wild to be in a different environment to play a football game. I really would. I think that would be super cool.
Some of the NFL players who speak to it do not speak well of those trips.
Yeah.
You got to go, as Don Nealon would say, halfway across the Orient. And get over there, and then you're just there and playing, 6-7 hour time difference, and then coming right back. It's not like you go there like you would go there, and you go to that place you went in Scotland, hang out for a while. I mean,
shout out to the Devil's Advocate.
A business trip with the 7-hour flight, 6-hour flight.
So I think the way you do it is you would play this weekend and have next Saturday off. Then it would be cool. You'd have your bye. You'd have your bye on week 2.
I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's as good for the players and the staff as you think it is. I think it'd be a pain in the butt. It's like the Hawaii game. Hawaii game's a disaster.
No question. All right, we'll call it off. West Virginia will not be playing in Ireland. Anytime, I'll call Ren. Call Ren. You think I call Ren
Ooh,
up?
that was close.
Who's playing Hawaii this week because they missed their flight?
Really?
Excuse me?
They missed their flight. Look that up, Hoppy.
All
Who's
right.
What do
playing
you mean?
Hawaii
What
this
do you
week?
mean they missed?
They missed their flight,
The team they were playing was going to go commercial.
or they missed their charter or something. They had to spend the night in the airport. Lined up, missed the flight.
Jeez.
Why do I want to say that it was like a Delaware or somebody like that?
It's
I
something.
think it was like
Hoppy will have
super far away. Anyway, so the hay is beginning to be loaded into the barn. West Virginia's preparation is now focused in on Penn State starting today. They did their mock game last night over at the stadium.
Delaware State.
Yeah, Delaware State.
Wait a minute, you're going Delaware State's going to Hawaii?
They tried to, but they didn't make it, according to the senator. That's a shot.
Delaware State, they'd be the Hornets.
No. Yes. Delaware State is. The other
Right.
ones at Peacocks. Yes.
Hornets.
Blue
yeah.
Hens.
Same thing. It's a bird.
Missed its scheduled
We're off the
flight.
rails now. Now we're naming Delaware college mascots. Here we go.
Shuttle bus delay.
Huh? That's how come they missed their flight? They had a shuttle bus delay?
Yeah. What a mess that is.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to get us further off track
So
than we were already going.
Last night over at the stadium, they did the mock game, which is where they literally do the rehearsal of what they look like when they run out of the tunnel. And then, okay, this is how we're going to go back in and all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to come back here. We're going to walk out. And by the way, I guess they got a couple new ideas for the team entrance
Cool.
this year. Just a little salt. A little salt, make it just a little
good.
bit,
I like
a little
that.
bit more seasoned. And because I could look over last night, I could see the scoreboard. I could see the scoreboard, and it had the Penn State thing on there, and they had the West Virginia on the scoreboard. I could see that. Kind of neat.
So full dress rehearsal.
Full dress. Music was
Yeah.
blaring. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was good. Now, what's up? On our program here today, we're going to jump into – these aren't like – what would you call this? To characterize these are some these are not over-unders. These are not like what we were doing a week ago or so. But these are some more little pieces of numerical nuggets that will help you get a better feel as to either what's going to happen or why something did happen. Is that fair?
No, I think you overstated.
Okay.
I think you oversold. No, just nuggets.
All right. Basically, we're going to give you a
Nuggets.
bunch of nothing
Just
and
things.
just go with it.
Yeah,
No,
we just got
nuggets.
things.
Oh, so basic
Kind
nuggets.
of add on to
relevant.
the numbers we've given before. PFF continues its love affair with the Mountaineers. We'll just drip some of those out. Might even got a little basketball to talk
Excuse
about.
me?
Excuse me?
Got a little basketball. Got a little
Wow.
basketball.
The pairings did come out for the upcoming battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas, and the world champion Mountaineers. Easy draw in that opening game. I mean, just line up, just run by this team. Got Gonzaga coming up in
You mean
game.
league member Gonzaga?
Yeah, conference game.
An early look at a conference game
Conference game.
with Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You know,
So I'll give you. We're not gonna do a ton of basketball because I know Kirchhoff loses his mind about early season basketball.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be played in December, let
No.
alone talking about in August. But we're going to. So you can just shut his mic off. I'll talk about it.
Well, I was just going to say, you don't need Gonzaga in the league. You play them all the time anyway. It's like they're a what would you call them,
An adjunct member.
adjunct member of the league.
well, you know what is weird? You're right. They're the team we play the most that's the farthest away for absolutely no reason. For absolutely no reason. It's kind of silly when you do think about it. I mean, they're over there. We're over here, and we have met them. We have met them a number of times,
Yeah,
obviously.
but this is different.
Twice in the
This is
NCAA.
similar to like now the ACC has to do this because their team's coming from China, Indonesia, all over. So they're meeting in weird,
Malaysia,
random third
Kuala
neutral
Lumpur.
locations. The Indonesian team comes over the swim team. They're going to meet in Dallas. So that's kind of what this is. Gonzaga comes over West Virginia. You're just going to go to the Bahamas. Just going to line up, go to the Bahamas rather than playing them here or there.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Right?
Yeah, it's stupid. Talk to a guy out in the Midwest.
That whole field and brackets, so not an easy one.
No, we'll go through
That's
that.
going to be some big basketball.
Talk to a guy out in the Midwest yesterday, league-affiliated guy out in the Midwest. Tells me that
What
tells,
did he tell you?
Tells me that the Big 12 commish still has it with this Connecticut in his head.
Still with the UConn.
Stop with the UConn.
Still with the UConn in his head. Won't let that go. Like if it was like a fire, like they just cannot stamp the thing out and just say stop. Says that's still smoldering. Not on fire. It's not on fire, but it's still smoldering.
That's
I mean, I get it from the standpoint he's thinking basketball, and they have won 2 straight world championships. I mean, I understand the infatuation there.
That's not how you build a league.
It's the all sports member. Yeah, that's the challenge.
That's not how you build a league.
Sports league,
unless you're breaking basketball out separately, as we've talked. Then it's I think it's a different discussion.
Stupid. Anyway,
I don't know. I think that the head football coach would be nice to say, "Oh, we got Connecticut this week."
Oh, it would be.
All due respect.
All due respect.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it would be a nice. Yeah, and we got Connecticut this week.
Got to prepare for the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs a Rutgers.
Yeah.
With all due respect to Rutgers. So, moving ahead, let's start the numbers.
You want to just jump in on
just
some
start
things?
giving me some tidbits.
Yeah. So
Give me
again,
some
these are
nuggets.
just
Is this brought to us by Conley's CPA Group?
Tidbits. Yeah. Do we have a jingle or anything, or are we just flying by the seat of our pants?
Oh no, it's
They're
available.
busy trying to figure out what episode this is.
So I checked the numbers. We'll just go right to the numbers. Here comes a heater.
Let's jump into the analytics portion of the show. So we normally call this spreads on stats, but today we're just going to call it nugget numbers, brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers. If you're a business owner and you would like some help with the accounting that goes on within your facility, they can do that. I mean, you can do it any way you want. You can start it, and they can come in and help complete public accounting and consulting firms serving clients throughout the state of West Virginia and beyond. 40-year anniversary coming up next year. They can also outsource besides your accounting. They can outsource your CFO services. So if you need a chief financial officer, someone to take a look and break it all down, remove the stress, the time associated with hiring a complete accounting staff and dealing with all the turnover that goes with us, you can outsource Conley CPA Group. Hit me with a nugget.
Hang on. Let's just check this out.
Wait, numbers changing as we speak?
They were. Looking at 2 different things.
What do you got, like Bitcoin going on? What changes?
Market's fluid and fluctuating as we speak. PFF, more love.
Yep.
Joining the Garrett Green Heisman discussion, right? First reported on this program.
Right.
They're still in. They've got Garrett listed as the 8th best quarterback in the country. 8th best, top 10 quarterback, right? We know about that.
Yeah.
3rd highest ranked in the Big 12, though, which is a little bit surprised. Shedeur Sanders ranked ahead of him. Also, Noah Fafita from Arizona ranked ahead.
Okay.
That Arizona team is going to be fascinating to watch because that's one of those games. There's a bunch of them for West Virginia, Hop. That's a really tough road trip, obviously. You're going way out there. That's a really talented quarterback with maybe the best receiver, not just in the league, maybe in the country, in Tet McMillan. So they held on to a bunch of guys. Lost some to Washington when Jed Fish left, but held on to a bunch of guys. But all new staff. What's that like? Is that a road game West Virginia can go in and steal a road win there from an Arizona team that's really highly thought of, that had it going by the end of last year, but now had to make some abrupt changes with the new staff? I'm fascinated to watch what Arizona does this year, and it's a big star on that one for West Virginia's schedule. Absolutely. Right? If you're starting to look, is West Virginia going to be a 7, 8, 9, 10 win team, win the league? That Arizona on the road is super important.
Sure.
Absolutely agree.
So of all the neglect that Garrett's been receiving, the one agency of record that does not neglect Garrett is PFF.
They've been all over it, right? They have been all over not only Garrett Green, and part of their Garrett Green love has spilled over into West Virginia respect, as they're one of the few outlets I've seen that has West Virginia ranked in its preseason top 25 as well.
So it would be fair to say that, like the Conley CPA Group, PFF provides value beyond numbers.
They are right now.
Yeah.
West Virginia fans should like the numbers that they're providing. Here's another one you'll like. They have Wyatt Milam listed as the 50th best overall player in college football. 50th best. 4th tackle. Here's some numbers. Listen to this as you start to watch. And again, we're in such a unique spot for West Virginia in that we've been able to fawn over Zach Frazier over the last 4 years and then watch his success getting drafted in the second round, going to the Steelers, now going to start for the Steelers at center. That's been a lot of fun. Milam is right there. Right? Zach wore the path down, cleared out all the trees, and Wyatt's just hopping right behind him and following a very similar path. Listen to these numbers. Wyatt's pass blocking grade in 2021, back when he was just a baby, 2021 that year, was second only to Notre Dame's Joe Alt. Okay, in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Second best pass blocking grade only to Joe Alt. Reason that's of interest to you? Joe Alt just went number 5 to the Chargers in last spring's draft.
Hello.
So they were two babies. Joe Alt grew up to be a top 5 pick. Last year, Wyatt had the second best pass blocking grade among FBS tackles. Second best grade last year in tackles. Okay, Hop?
Mm-hmm.
He was behind only Patrick Paul from Houston. Patrick Paul, West Virginia faced them. He's now with the Dolphins. He went number 55 in the draft to the Dolphins. So, again, those are numbers. I say this a lot. Sometimes the numbers just back up what you already know or what you see. Those are some pretty good pass blocking numbers for Wyatt, both when he was a baby and last year, as he's now grown up to be one of the best players in college football, never mind one of the best offensive linemen and tackles that you'll see. Couple Penn State numbers for you.
Sure.
Couple Penn State numbers. Quarterback Drew Aller, listed number 13, best quarterback in the country. Here's two stats under his bio that jumped out to me and are applicable as you get into the preview for Penn State. Last year, Penn State, this again, all according to PFF, they had Penn State's pass blocking grade outside the top 50 nationally, and they had its receiving grade outside the top 80 nationally. We're going to hear from Steve Jones coming up a little bit, Penn State's play-by-play. He says he doesn't have any concerns about any area of Penn State's team. Part of why they're ranked anywhere from, 6 to 9. A lot of people really high on them. Expanded playoff. Most think Penn State's got a great chance to get into the playoff. But those two numbers are interesting. How much better has Penn State gotten in pass blocking? That's going to be important. Conversely, how much better is West Virginia's pass rush? Going against then, the other part of that, the receiving group for Penn State. Has that taken a big step forward from outside the top 80 last year? So I found that interesting under Drew Aller's numbers with pass blocking and receiving. Their safety, one of their safeties, Kevin Winston, Pro Football Focus has him as the 28th best player in college football. He had just a 2% missed tackle rate in 2023. That's second among all safeties. So they have a bunch of dudes on offense and defense, especially defensively. We'll talk about them more next week. But Kevin Winston's a name you're going to hear a bunch as we get ready for Penn State. He was really, really good last year, and he returns.
So what do you think? Do you agree with Steve that there's nothing to worry about with this Penn State team?
Well, it's all in context because it's rare that you have teams that you don't have any question marks or concerns about. Penn State's probably one. I mean, if I'm Penn State, I'm probably looking at that. You feel like your offensive line plugged guys in, even though you lost the good left tackle to the NFL. You feel like you've got they're kind of a West Virginia situation on the offensive line, right? They have guys that have played a bunch of snaps, just maybe haven't started the game. So they're going to plug experienced guys in at the line. They feel better at the receiver position. Julian Fleming comes over from Ohio State. It's a proven pass catcher at this level. So they think they've addressed those two areas. And I think beyond that, what questions would you have? They don't have him at running back. They don't have him at quarterback. They don't have him on any part of the defense. Great linebackers, great backfield, and they think that defensive line's really good. So I understand where if you're the play-by-play guy for Penn State, you'd probably say that. Don't have a lot of concerns.
But, I mean, getting Julian Fleming was huge, but he was, what's he got in total? He has 79 catches in 4 years. So, but is he a dude? I mean, is he, because if they're thin anywhere offensively, it's at that wide receiver position. Fair? And maybe thin isn't the right word, but if there's a question mark anywhere, it's at that receiver position.
Maybe. This is also a team that passed for 300-plus yards against West Virginia last year and 3 touchdowns. So that's all relative. Are you talking about thin as compared to everybody? Or are you talking about thin as they go up against the two teams that they're primarily concerned about beating in Ohio State and Michigan? So that's a question for me. I mean, I would say this to the Julian Fleming part. West Virginia fans, and us included, think Jaden Bray is going to make a difference.
Right.
We think Jaden Bray can come in and make an immediate impact. He had 30 catches last year. Right? That's not knocking your socks off. That's not a Biletnikoff Award winner. But we've seen some things in practice where you went, I'll tell you what, Jaden Bray might be a dude.
When you read what others are writing about Penn State, what is the one point that keeps coming up? Oh, this year they got to stretch the field. They got to have more big plays. And when you first start to look at the stats, you go, why is that? They average 36 points a game. It's because, as you said, Brad, the two games they care about, Ohio State and Michigan, which they lost last year. They lost to Ohio State. They scored 12 points. Lost to Michigan. They scored 15 points. So that's what I think they're talking about, is, well, you couldn't stretch the field. And you look at the stats in that game. I think in one of the games, they only completed 11 passes, and the average reception was like 9 yards. The other one was like 13 yards. So they did not have big plays in the games that matter to them.
There's no question. And so, again, I think with a Penn State, it's two different discussions. It's about the rest of their schedule, and it's about those two games. The rest of their schedule, you can see what they did, and they did this to West Virginia. They're looking at that defense that was top 3 in every category you can have and just said, well, we're not going to get crazy offensively. We're not going to make any mistakes. Aller had 25 touchdowns and 2 picks. That's an unbelievable ratio right there.
Bizarre.
And they had 2 great running backs, so they just said, screw all of you. I mean, you want to see big, flashy plays? Don't care. We're going to try and win games, and we're going to let our defense take care of it. And I think, and we'll talk more this week, so to me, that's one of the very biggest questions. You bring in a new offensive coordinator that's known for a lot of motion and a lot of different plays and a lot of creativity. Do they open that playbook, or do they try and stay more conservative and say we're not going to make mistakes? It's a storyline we're going to hit a lot next week and on game day, because I think that's a fascinating study into what will Penn State try and do, especially in the first game with the shiny new toy of Andy Kodalicki, who's very, very good. We've watched him at Kansas for years with a really fun offense to watch. Do they try and mix some of that in, or do they stay vanilla and let that defense do work? If the defense can do work against what is a much improved West Virginia offense from what Penn State faced last year.
Yeah. We interrupt Brad's numbers and nuggets for this announcement. I think you guys will find this interesting, but since we're not live on the air, you'll already know this by the time we start. If you would, Producer Austin, Pat McAfee has announced that he will host his show next Friday on the WVU campus in preparation for the Mountaineers and the Nittany Lions.
Where's he going to be?
I think on campus somewhere. I didn't listen to this yet, but I think wouldn't be surprised if he's probably near the mountain lair or something like that. You know, I think Pat likes to draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's going to go out to an open field anywhere.
Well, that'll be fun. He'll be cranked up.
Yeah.
He'll be cranked up. That's neat. That's fun.
Yeah.
That adds to the chaotic atmosphere of next week.
So what's interesting, if you want to jump into the game behind the game, so Fox has the game, obviously, right? So what better way for ESPN to steal away some of the attention? They come in and they carpet bomb Fox on Friday. They'll get all the attention because Pat's here, da-da-da-da-da-da. They'll steal that. They'll get a little bit of that Penn State, West Virginia, even though they're not going to do the game.
Or it's ESPN's attempt because they screwed up by not bringing game day here, and Fox scooped them on the game day part of it, and then they said, well, we got to do something, and our most popular show is a West Virginia grad. We better send him in.
Where is game day that day? Any idea?
The light blue lot.
No, he's asking where's
ESPN?
ESPN's show
where's ESPN's game day? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do know this.
They're not here.
I do know this.
All respect to them,
I think there was some comprehension issues with a release that WVU put out earlier this week in regard to the Fox game day and availability and things like that. So some people misread that. They're going to open the gates to go in to watch Fox's, what do they call theirs?
Big noon kickoff.
Big noon kickoff. 9 a.m. is when they'll open that up for people to go in.
Okay.
The gates, as per usual, the lots will open up at 7 a.m. I think some people misconstrued that and thought that the lots weren't going to open up until 9. But no, it's standard, regular, 7 a.m. for the lots. 9 a.m. is the time that you can mill over and go to Fox's Big Noon kickoff.
What time's our deal open on Saturday?
Our food?
Yeah.
Senator, do you know what time we open?
Efforting.
7, 8, something like that.
Whatever it takes.
Everybody else has their time set. We're a little more.
Well, we have them set. I mean, we know
do?
that we're going to be open up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So by the time Saturday gets here, it'll be passé. Like we're probably like 7-Eleven. We're just open all the time.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, the
kind of like
port node's open Wednesday night. After that, it's open.
Kind of like a Go-Mart. Like
it's just open, just come by.
Why do you need a lock on the front door? We don't close.
Exactly.
We don't need a lock. We just like we're open. No, I'll get that. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Sure, producer Dave will have something like that. We got big announcements coming up on that, by the way. I've got the information a little bit later on in the show as to how folks can order their barbecue in advance. Take it to wherever they want it to be. Take it to their tailgate. Take it back to their house. Take it back to wherever. This is the hell of a deal.
And do yourself a favor. Instead of like, I got to pack sandwiches. I got to get the brisket. Just get it. Just trust
Well,
us.
we can even do better than
We
just
can
the
do better
brisket.
than that.
We'll do better than
It's
that.
available for pickup Friday night
Yeah.
and Saturday.
Yeah.
So if you just want to take it on Friday, you can take it to wherever you want to, keep it whatever, and then warm it back up, or you could take it Saturday, whatever.
Or
works
Saturday, you can come by and have a nice cold beer while you're
You
while
could
you're
do that
picking up
because the beer is being debuted on Wednesday.
Yeah, what beer will be available?
Hold on, just hold on. Just hold on over there. We're still doing
We'll
something.
announce that next week.
All right.
We'll announce that next week.
But there will be a new beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
It'll be there.
It'll be there.
All right, we still going?
Yeah, go
Can we
ahead.
return to regular scheduled programming?
Mhm.
That's my football stuff.
Did you have a couple of nuggets, Junior?
Well, I only had 2 things. I'm 50% done. I had one other thing, but I can wait.
No, go
Until-
ahead.
Well, I wonder how Penn State is viewing this, because I was looking at their schedule last night, and like Brad said, they have 2 games that matter, right? Michigan and Ohio State, and they're not playing Michigan this year. So look at their schedule. They start on the road against West Virginia, and they're probably thinking, I mean, I'm talking about Nittany Lion Nation. They're probably thinking, okay, got to go down there. It's a pain. Go down there, beat them, take care of business. Then they're home for a month.
Huh?
They have Bowling Green, Kent State, Illinois, UCLA, all at home. And not until October 12th, Brad, they go to USC. So they're probably thinking, you know what they're thinking. They're thinking, okay, 5-0, go take care of business at USC. Then you play Ohio State on November 2nd, and you get Ohio State at home. I mean, I would imagine they're talking themselves into a big season.
Sure.
Because of the talent returning and because of the schedule, which is pretty favorable for them.
Sure.
Agreed?
I totally agree. Totally agree. That's why it's West Virginia's job to make week 1 as uncomfortable as you possibly can. Now, listen, some of the numbers are starting to side with West Virginia on this, at least in terms of where the line is going. It was like 14 back in the spring if you really got on it early. It's steadily dropping down. It's been in that 10.5 range for quite a while. There's been another downshift this week. Now it's down, if you look at DraftKings, just 8.5.
Really?
Penn State favored by just 8.5.
Why do you
Really?
think it's moving like that?
Heavy
Well,
money's going
market
to West Virginia.
influence.
The money was coming in
There's
on-
some market influence that's come in on the West Virginia
Right,
side, getting those double digits. Now, it may pop back up here to double digits as we get a little closer next week. It's just been interesting to watch that line movement throughout some time here.
They get Ohio State at home. They get Washington at home. Maryland. But, I mean, it's a workable schedule for a team that certainly is setting its sights on playoffs and more.
Isn't it bizarre how you just kind of threw out there when you went through their schedule? Then they go to USC. Did you say USC? Is that where they're going?
Yes,
They're going to go to USC. Did you say they have UCLA at home?
UCLA at home.
It says how bizarre is this? I mean, now it's for real. Now it's for real.
I mean,
Now, UCLA at
they
home.
won't know where they are. They will not. They will have no idea where they are. They better fly. They better first fly north, and then come across, so it will feel right to them.
Who, UCLA?
Yeah, UCLA.
It'll be weird.
It's just a longer flight to Washington State. Don't worry.
So 18 teams this year in the Big 10, 16 in the Big 12. And I do think you're going to hear a lot of conversation once this thing really starts happening. When you start posting some new, like when Fox says Penn State, UCLA is the noon game in state college, their big noon game, and their body clock is 9 a.m., you're going to just hear a tremendous amount of conversation about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Should have, we're done with the over-under. Should have done an over-under nationally on body clock mentions. Or just
show?
even on this show, because we'll mention it. When West Virginia goes to Arizona, we'll have body clock
Oh,
talks.
we'll probably spend a whole show on it. Get an expert on. Talk about that.
Yeah, serious
All
situation.
right, what else you got?
I got serious
That's
situation.
it. I get.
That was
That's
your
it.
third. You're out?
Well, I mean, I have other things, but I did stats. I was working on stats yesterday, and then I mean, look at them. It's just embarrassing the way I wrote them down. But I thought I'm embarrassed to do them because your stats are so much better that mine are so macro. I'm not even going to mention them.
I got a problem.
What? What happened?
My keyboard stopped working, and I think I know why. And now the problem's going to become.
I'll go plug it in. Just keep.
Do you know where it goes?
I think I do.
It's a good thing we do heavy editing to this podcast. We just go back in and edit this out.
I tell you what, he went in with a heavy.
Just-
By the way, while you're doing that, what's
Yeah.
the story of the new hat? That's brand new. I've never seen that hat
well,
before.
prototype.
By the way, he's down here looking at every single one of these units. Now he's hitting my shins. Now,
what's happening?
He just hit his head.
What's happening?
I'm going to do play-by-play.
Is he going to be all right?
He's now in a down fetal position underneath the countertop.
But I think he knows what he's doing.
Try it. See what I got. Yeah, we're working.
He fixed it. Once
Watch
again.
your head now. Don't hit your head.
A little bit of everything.
He's
little bit of. A little bit.
Tell you what, Kirchville, he was about that close from going into concussion protocol.
Pretty good.
So what's the story on the hat? That's the new Three Guys logo.
Prototype.
I've seen that. Prototype.
Well, yeah. So startup podcast here. So you kind of just bootstrapping the whole thing, right?
Yes.
So I went out and did some gear, Kirchville. Just like, you know what? I want a hat. Need a hat. I'll design it. I'll do it. Just handle
yourself.
Went out and got it.
Well, you didn't design the logo, though.
I did. I didn't design the logo, but I designed the placement on the hat.
All right, nice. Looks good. Is it available at whatever that website is?
Efforting. No, not yet.
It's not available at episode800.com.
Did some prototype colors. Got a blue and gold as well.
And what about your shirt?
Well, I matched it with. I wanted to go with the old school original.
There it is.
Rarely
That's the original.
used.
That's the first one, isn't it?
Very first one.
Yes.
Talk about prototypes.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, gosh.
Right.
I got to dig
We should
mine
probably
out.
update that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because we've all aged a little bit since then.
Yeah, you don't have a
Me
beard.
more than others,
You don't
according
even
to
have a
textures.
beard.
What's
All
that?
Well, I've aged quite a bit with the beard, the white beard. Tony's had multiple cosmetic surgery procedures. He
He's
looks younger.
I've lost
You're
hair.
holding in nicely.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, we'll get a new. There it is. There's a close.
nice.
Hold on. There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
Tony, I mean, yes, that does not reflect Tony's surgery. Tony's cosmetic surgery.
Correct. So we got to work on that, don't you think? Shouldn't we get a new?
I heard the artist retired. Sydney retired. She made that.
Yeah, Sydney Antonic. Yeah, we'll have to work on that. We'll get her. Maybe we can commission her for one more deal.
Here's a line.
But anyway, I'm going to work on some more hats. If people like the hats, I'll work on that. We'll work on the hats.
I love it. I would wear that.
Would you?
Yep. Here's a line. What's Penn State thinking about West Virginia? That was almost making
I talked to
I almost
Steve
went
Jones.
full Howard Cosell on that. I talked to Steve Jones, the play-by-play announcer of the Nittany Lions, and I inquired to him, what's up with Penn State? Let's listen in. First visit for the Nittany Lions since 92 to Morgantown. Obviously, we saw each other last year. Where are you better? Where are you concerned from where you were a year ago?
Better probably at wide receiver. Quarterback has improved. I feel that, is there any area I'm concerned about? No, there's no real area I'm concerned about with the team. But, here's the problem. You go through practice, and guess what? You're practicing against yourself. Now you got to find out what you can do against somebody else who schemed and game planned for you. And there's a couple things. For example, West Virginia knows Andy Koltanicki really well because West Virginia played Kansas every year.
Right.
So that staff knows Andy. So there's not going to be unfamiliarity with what his thought process happens to be. Conversely, he also knows what West Virginia wants to do defensively. So, those are the things that you're looking at. They also want to see last year, the kicking part last year, it got solved in the game against West Virginia, but that's been a wide-open competition for Penn State for a place kicker. And, of course, especially in a road game, you're going to need to be consistent there.
You go.
Venerable Steve Jones.
Yeah, been there he has
Forever.
seen everything twice, literally.
Yeah.
He's been at it for as long as, he was there back in 84. When I first started here, we would trade tape, which means exchange sound bites over the telephone line.
So you guys are probably about the same age. You might be a year or two older than
He
him.
might be a little bit older than me, I think. But we'd go hey, he'd go hey, I got 3 Paternos, and you got any kneeling? And we go yeah, I got 3 kneelings for you. You go, okay, just you'd click a switch, you'd put the phone down, and you'd send it over the phone line. That's why every soundbite back then sounded like football.
Penn State coach Joe Paterno.
Yeah, exactly. And so now, obviously, the magic of digital. So he feels pretty comfortable. But
Sounds like it.
He does give respect to WVU. He's been here for many
He's been
games
around long enough to
through
know.
the years. He gets it, and you just certainly don't know.
He did. Gave a lot of respect to Garrett and
Yes.
to the offensive line,
CJ
the running
and
backs.
Jaheim,
Yeah,
and
he got it. He
knows
He knows.
Jaheim. He knows Jaheim. York, PA, wants to have a day. against Penn State. Keep in mind, Jaheim didn't have the opportunity to get on the field last year against Penn State because he just wasn't ready, wasn't doing all the things you needed to do, and they couldn't trust him at that point, and then he gained that trust over the next several weeks.
See, that's part of the fun, I think, guys, of an opener like this, albeit really difficult. And it would be really nice to trot out a team that you could hang 50 on and drill them and get everyone more excited. But what you'll learn with this will be fascinating. We've mentioned it a bunch. With a Rodney Gallagher and a Traylon Ray out there as two of your best receivers last year, were true freshmen walking onto that field. They had only been here a month, right? Jaheim White doesn't even play.
Right.
Guy that goes on to you think could be one of the best backs in the Big 12. Garrett
I
realized
Green.
Garrett had started games,
but
really that's his first game as the starting quarterback.
There.
In
that environment.
Right, you think he's better? Has he gotten a little bit better since then?
I'd say so.
I'm fascinated to watch what this offense that, again, was really clicking at the end of last year. Now it has a little different makeup, some different questions than we had last year, but some better answers in areas going against what is, again, probably the best defense you're going to face. I don't know that I'm on too much of a limb in saying that. I think this will be the best defense that West Virginia will see, just as it was last year. I think that's going to be a fascinating watch. West Virginia's O against their D in particular.
That's a defense that held teams to 13 points last year. 13 points.
Yep. I mean, it is a massive challenge, but a challenge that I think the boys over at the Pushkar Center want to go do. Look forward to it. Say, let's go ball.
Now,
let's
imagine, even though they're just approaching game week, I imagine they've worked on this a little bit before during the off season.
Oh, sure. There's things put in there. Probably in spring ball, different looks. They're not even telling the kids at that time what you're working on, but you might be putting a scheme here or a scheme there that they might see again. Yeah, that's possible.
Finished first in the country in sacks and TFLs, Brad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're literally top 3 in every defensive category you want to come up with.
Yeah.
It was a really good defense.
Yeah.
They will be again.
That's why it's good to have a quarterback that's got at least the ability to get out of harm's way. Mm-hmm. When you didn't have that and you were back there and you were a target, you could just stand there. That's tough to get those guys.
Yeah, and just think, we talked to Steve about this, but that defensive line, it's not just Abdul Carter that they've moved into a pass rushing side of things, but they love their tackles, and there's multiple guys at defensive tackle that they're going to roll in. So what's this West Virginia offense look like in terms of the motion and the misdirection and the options you have that you just simply did not have week 1 last year? That was a major difference. What you saw from the West Virginia offense as it got into November versus what it looked like in September in game 1, they're not even the same two offenses. Now you add a year on top of that, especially with your skill guys growing up. I can't wait to watch it. That'll be fun.
3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. When it comes to business equipment, they've got every possible thing you may need in your workplace. So check them out at comaxwv.com, and that includes business phone systems. We say it all the time, whether you need 1 line, whether you need 1,000 lines, their digital phone systems are competitively priced. They'll come in, give you a free estimate. What's it going to cost? And now with technology today, basically you can have the best communications among your employees, know where everyone is, get all the messaging out to folks if they're out in the field constantly, perfectly. It's comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com.
Okay, want to do a little basketball while we're still in the spreads on stats segment?
I mean, I wouldn't
Which is
know
just
why
turned
not.
into a meandering segment here as we talk about a million things.
No, that's
Keep
fine.
going.
No, that's fine
You
because the basketballers will start practice here probably next week. They're giving a little break here with the first week of school, and then they'll get ready to go and pick up where they left off in Italy. And as we said earlier in the program, WV learned this week what the pairings are in the upcoming Battle for Atlantis. Now, if you remember, this was supposed to be a trip that West Virginia took a couple of seasons ago, and then COVID blowed that whole thing up. It blowed it all up. Had to go to South Dakota, if you remember.
Right, yeah.
And then they had to go to South Dakota, and then the teams that were supposed to be there, like they fell out, and they had to constantly change the teams that were in it. So this is finally that trip to get there. This is one of the premier tournaments every November. You always think about Hawaii.
Maui and this are the 2 best fields.
These are these are like, there ain't no playing around in this thing. This is big boy basketball in West Virginia. gets Gonzaga first.
Yeah, so what I did, Hop, went through, just looked at the early Gonzaga matchup.
Oh, gosh.
3 months early. Just a couple nuggets.
Never
here.
too early.
Just a couple of nuggets here. This
Okay.
this is no surprise. They're going to be very good again, especially on the offensive side. This is a team last year, Hop, 4th offensively in points per possession efficiency nationally. So they were really, really good. Couple guys that we'll talk about more as we get closer, but to keep your eye on for Gonzaga. Ryan Nembhard, really talented point guard, and Graham Ike, a 6'9" interior guy. That's a guy that you're going to have to watch if you want an early matchup that West Virginia is going to have to contain with its lack of size on the roster. That's going to be West Virginia's challenge. You're getting Graham Ike, maybe preseason player of the year in their league. Nearly 80% of his shots came from in the lane, 43% of those shots at the rim. So you want an early how to win the game for basketball against Gonzaga, watch Ike in the lane and try and shut that down. The other part, Nembhard and Ike, very good pick and roll combination right there. Nembhard top 10 nationally in percentage of time running a pick and roll. So they'll want to do that. So the defending the pick and roll against Gonzaga will be super important as well. Potential second round matchup with either an Indiana or a Louisville.
My goodness.
Yeah. See, we're not messing around, as Tony said. Let's look at Louisville for a second. That would be a fun matchup for West Virginia here. Just a dreadful couple of years under Kenny Payne for that Louisville program.
Painful.
They are not what they traditionally have been. Last year, a bottom 100 team offensively, and 355 out of 356 when it came to defensive efficiency. But you know what about those numbers, Hop?
What?
Just simply don't matter at all. Throw them out. Because much like West Virginia, they have remade the entire roster. 12 new players coming in under new coach Pat Kelsey. So that's a complete rebuild. Evan Miyakawa, friend of ours, Evan Miyakawa has been on the show, evanmia.com, of course.
Sure.
Advanced analytics for basketball, does a tremendous job. Has the Cardinals as the second best portal class in the country. Has West Virginia ranked 17th in that category as well. So that would be a fun, interesting second-round matchup.
That new coach over there at Louisville, is he pretty energetic?
He's energetic. He'll bring it.
Yeah, Pat Kelsey. Big energy guy. Big energy guy.
College of Charleston.
Yeah. Came out of the
previously.
CAA. So they'll be bouncy, they'll be energetic. I would imagine they'll bring some fans.
That'd be a good fan contingent there.
It'll be interesting to see how many West Virginia brings, because Mountaineer fans have done extremely well going to these November tournaments. And we've been to Puerto Rico, Vegas, Florida. They did really well. Charleston, South Carolina, they came out in droves. But I wonder if that'll translate to the Bahamas, because that's Thanksgiving week, correct?
That's tough.
Yeah, Thursday. We'll play on Thanksgiving Day. You'll play Louisville or Indiana on Thanksgiving Day.
Heck of a tournament.
Yeah.
Heck of a tournament.
So there you go. All right.
There you go. There's an early look at basketball, Hop.
Wow. That is early.
If the depending on when you're listening to this, if you listen today, which is 22nd of August, or if you're up until listening to this just tomorrow's the last day that you can sign up for the application to get in and win a spot in the Mountaineer Man Trip. It's just an unbelievable thing that Gomart does.
How do you do that, Tony?
You just go to their website, gomart.com, or you can get it on the app and just put your name in there and you will be notified. And once again, that concludes on the 23rd of August, and we wish you the very best, and they'll announce the winners coming up next week. Also, keep this in mind about Gomart. Sunny days deserve sweet breaks. Have a break. Check this out, Brad. Have a Kit Kat and earn a token with every purchase at Gomart. You collect tokens for your chance to win 5,000 bonus reward points. You heard it here first, 5,000. Only the top 25 token earners are going to win. So get yourself a Kit Kat flavor. Start collecting. Get started now. This offer ends August 31. Go to the Gomart app or visit gomart.com.
You can also line up on that app and get 50 cents off a Kit Kat there, Hop. See that?
Kit Kat's a strong
are
candy, too.
Not a whole lot of people dislike Kit Kats. Like Kit Kats
are way up my list.
They're like the Switzerland of candies. Like
Nice
they're just like everyone.
chocolate and the
Like
crunch.
who doesn't like Switzerland? Who doesn't like Kit Kats?
Might be some of those Asian Kit Kats that people won't like.
Man, those were good.
Yeah, we have done some weird ones.
Yeah.
People
Those
sent
are,
us.
those are really,
weird.
really good.
But just the regular traditional, give it to me all day long.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Those have turned into a big Halloween.
They have?
Yeah, there's certain candies that have really kind of been pushed. I don't know if big candy's behind that. I don't know how that works.
Big candy.
But those Kit Kats, very prevalent, big giant bags of Kit Kats. but they're not the full size, right? They're the little skinny ones. You can like take it. Well, some I don't know. Some I know take them. Just you can just do one bite.
Big candy. I bet you there is a story behind that. I bet you there is. I bet you if like New York
a
Times.
lot more Kit Kats being pushed in the marketplace than there used to be, which I'm good with. Totally good with.
That'd be about a 17-minute audio story on the New York Times audio. Like, not many people know Benjamin. Let's see, we make it got Benjamin Rasmussen. Benjamin Rasmussen, 13 years ago, said there's a way to push Kit Kats out at a rate never seen before, and so he began. Today, Kit Kat's the largest Halloween candy ever. Right?
Went into a big corporate meeting, said, I got one word for you. So, Halloween.
They're very prevalent.
Little did you know that Big Candy was behind the push of the Kit Kat. Interesting. I got something for you.
What's that?
Our good friends at Tudor's Biscuits,
Mm-hmm.
they got a hell of a deal.
Oh,
I mean, a hell of a deal. They got these camouflage. You got these camouflage
Big
tumblers, right? Got a camouflage tumbler, but they got this super good deal. They got a super good deal on this thing right now. So here it is. If you buy one of these at a Tudor's, it's a stainless steel camo travel mug. For the life of you owning this, you can go in there every time and you get a 24-ounce refill for the price of a small coffee.
Really?
Or an iced tea.
That's a good deal.
For as long as you own it. That's 24 fluid ounces.
How do they know it's theirs?
Well, it says Tudor's Biscuit World on it, Hoppy.
Branded pretty well there.
Okay,
there you go. That might be the giveaway they're looking for.
I forgot to turn it around.
Churchill never worked in marketing.
Stainless steel. So all you got to do is purchase
novel
it.
Concept. Put our name of the company right on the cup.
Know?
I'll put a name of the company right on there.
By the way, 4 hours hot, 12 hours cold.
But
that's what the camo mug will give you?
4 hours hot, 12 hours cold. You buy it once, and you get refills for the rest of your life for the price of a small coffee or an iced tea. That's a hell of a deal. Buy that thing for $15.99.
Hot or cold?
Hot or cold. 4 hours hot, 12 hours cold for $15.99 every time you go in from here on in.
But how does it know?
You pay small refill price, just a small coffee. It knows. It's got special stuff.
Are they all camo? Mine's camo.
Yeah, they're all camo, Hoppy. That's why they call it a camo mug.
Man, I am a step behind here. I'm sorry.
You really are. Catch up here. All camo, just different colors. You've got like the blue and gold version there.
That's the Mountaineer camo in your hand.
One. This is the traditional. I'm holding the traditional camo.
Okay.
Right.
Check it out at Tudor's Biscuit World.
It's nice.
Hit the music. Hit the music. Hit the music. Oh, yeah. Textual Healing is brought to us by episode800.com. Get your swag, get your gear, get anything you need at episode800.com, from shirts to coffee. By the way, I went over to Rusty's this morning, bought 3 bags.
Big or little?
3 little bags.
Why?
I need to get the 5-pound bag because I've been starting to put it in my freezer.
Reason?
What?
Rusty says you can just put the coffee in the freezer until you need it. Then
ground or the beans?
Beans.
The beans?
Beans.
So keeps them fresher longer? You put them in the freezer?
Then I just put them in my grinder when I need them.
First I've heard of that.
Okay.
Yep. He says they're good to go. So I need the 5-pound bag. You can get that too. Episode
They got
800.
some out on the shelves there when you went over? Mountaineer Roasting going right to your left when you walk in?
Right there, I bought them. I bought 2.
So you bought 15 pounds?
No, a 12-ounce bag. So I bought 12, 24, 36. What's that? A little bit more than 2 pounds. 2.5. So check it out. Can't wait for this week. We're going to open up the food court next to Daniel's on University Avenue on Wednesday. And Rev Kev and crew are going to be out there. I got the deal and how you can pre-order coming up in just a little bit.
Did they tear down a building to make room for the
we've had
the truck?
We've had some construction
trailer
going on there. We've done some things. Been some hammering.
Nice truck.
Texter says, I hope I'm not
paint job over there at the food court as well.
Yeah, they painted the logo again on the ground.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looks good.
Texter says, I hope I'm not a day late and $1 short, but I have one more over-under that I am curious about. What about an over-under on the longest winning streak in 2024? Set it at 3.5 games.
That's good.
Neil Brown's reached a 4-game streak once, and that was last year. From 2019 through 2023, the highest was 2 games. Thank you, Ben from Roanoke. So the question becomes, does West Virginia over-under have a win streak at 3.5 this season?
This dang schedule.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but I would go under just
That Kansas,
hard to win
Oklahoma
4.
State, Iowa State, Kansas State, at Arizona stretch is massive.
That is.
Oh, it's a season.
I mean, it's just massive. And then after that, even if you got on pick off a couple of those in there late, in Cincinnati, Baylor, UCF, Texas Tech, this is just a beast of a league, man.
Every week. It's fun.
Read something in The Athletic today.
Huh?
Kind of a spreads on stats, not on spreads on stats. Read in The Athletic today, we've been talking about the depth of this league and the variance that's going to come with this league, where you look at a double-digit number of teams that you think have a chance, at least we sit here in August, chance to win this league. Only Power 5 that has at least 10 teams with a 2.5% or better chance to win the league is the Big 12. No team with a greater than 26% chance. According to, it's just one model. That's the Athletics model, but speaks to the variance and the balanced nature.
Say that again.
Only Power 4 league that has at least 10 teams in it that have a 2.5% chance or better of winning the league. So 10 teams, according to this model, this particular model. But none of those teams have a greater than 26% chance of winning. I know everybody in the world's on Utah. Utah's a mortal lock. If you listen to everybody, you should go put everything you own, everything your friends own, everything you can get your hands on, and even stuff
for the 11th
even
year.
stuff. Just go get some credit, borrow if you have to. Just load it all up on Utah to win the league, because there's no chance Utah doesn't win this league, according to everybody.
Correct.
Except the Athletic, who only gives them a 26% chance of winning. Just found that interesting. It's going to be a fun season in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Now, the national people are going to try and tell you the league's no good. They're going to tell you the league's no good. I'm here to tell you this is going to be a fun league.
Sure.
It's going to be. It's going to be.
Every week, this is what you always say. This is a talk line. It's a very compelling season and league. Might be the most compelling.
Absolutely. And we talk about it all the time. These are games. There'll be great games in this league. But nationally, it's going to be hard to break through, because what's anybody going to want to talk about at the national level?
They're going to talk about 2 leagues.
2 leagues.
That's all they're going to talk about.
Right.
This is going to be a fun league.
Yes.
Just put it down.
In our last episode, there was a question regarding the Let's Go Mountaineer chant during the game. I said at that point I stay away from all of those conversations, but I will read the next text. To help alleviate Chris's text regarding the Let's Go chant during the game, during my short stint of being a cheerleader, we were told not to start the chant during the game. In the past, the chant has been started while we're on offense, and the crowd is slow to stop said chant. Timeouts going into defense is the only time that they can start the chant, but usually a video board, hype board, or band takes charge. So apparently, the inability to tap the brakes quickly, the Let's Go chant was being too loud for the Mountaineer offense, and so that, like I said, I'm not going there. I just whatever.
I wish he would have come to that conclusion when I was in charge of this stuff.
Was Tony?
I wish he would have come to the conclusion that he wanted out of that kind of stuff.
Well, would he ask you for things?
He would have ideas, along with a couple other radio station employees that shall remain nameless, that wouldn't stop calling and suggesting things. That
no reason to bring Christian Miller into this.
Oh, my gosh, I wouldn't want to take that call.
Texter.
There were others.
Hey, TC.
Multiple calls.
Not
hard
me.
to get your work done during the day when I'd get all these calls from different people. Hey, you know what you should do? So I'm glad he's come to the realization that he's now out of that business. As we were well aware, I'm out. Not talking.
Correct.
Okay.
Is that in the context of the same thing when people say, I was watching the game and the defensive backs are playing too far off of the wide receiver, coach?
That's my equivalent is when I get a call or text or email that says, you should investigate, or you should have your team investigate this.
Your team.
And I say, I are the team. And I ain't got time to track down why the road's not paved over there. But I will pass along your concern about the unpaved road to the highway department.
Hey, TC, today is wedding anniversary day at the Mock House. After hearing about my excursions to Terry Black's barbecue with you and with your son, April demanded to try it for herself. She deemed it to be the best barbecue she's ever eaten.
Oh, my.
Picture Hoppy. As an anniversary present, she got me an efforting shirt from episode 800.
There we go.
An outstanding day in Central Texas from our great friend Joe Mock. And congratulations to Joe and April celebrating their anniversary. Terry Black Barbecue is very good.
Thank you, April, for visiting episode800.com.
Kathy from Washington, West Virginia writes, I was so glad that Hoppy mentioned on the podcast on Monday that it was 50 years ago that he started college at West Virginia. I then reminisced about my days in nursing school, soon realizing that it was 50 years ago that I started school. Wonderful times and special friends made. Thanks, Hoppy.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, Kathy, on 50 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. 50 years.
Hey, three guys. Seth in Florida. In preparation for the Penn State game, I present you the James Franklin curse.
What?
If you recall, James Franklin was the coach at Maryland who pulled Steve Slayton's scholarship and spent the next 3 seasons crying as Steve ran amok on the old Terrapins. Given that Jaheim White grew up a Penn State fan, went to camp there, and Franklin declined to offer him, I believe this is the year that Franklin starts his WV running back regrets all over again. Jaheim is going to run amok on him just like Steve did. Let's go Mountaineers. I don't know if James Franklin had any involvement with Steve Slayton. That was the Fridge. That was Ralph Friedgen.
Franklin wasn't coaching waiting on that staff?
I mean, I don't know exactly what the involvement is there. I never heard Franklin's name tied to that. You always heard Ralph Friedgen's name was tied to that. I don't know.
It gets in the way of a good text, so.
Exactly.
Unconfirmed.
Texter, hey, Matthew here, listening to the podcast. I'm an original native of McDowell County.
Free State.
I had family members who grew up on the banks of the Tug. A lot of trash and other junk that got tossed down the hillsides or into the river had a lot to do with not having any real trash collection service in that part of the state. Sadly, the Tug River has been heavily polluted my entire life and rather unsightly when going down the road along the banks. Happy to hear there are good folks out there trying to clean it up. Yeah.
That was from those 13,000
tires
pulled out by the Friends of the Tug.
Frank in Clarksburg writes, three guys, I have an idea for the stadium's naming rights. Mountaineer Field at Three Guys Stadium before the game. Eastern Time Zone Stadium.
We're going to have to go back into that, aren't we? Big 12's going to yak this.
Oh,
they're going to
absolutely.
They're going to yak it again, aren't they?
Oh, my
they
gosh.
Have forgotten or somebody has left. It's going to happen again.
This thing is going to be a cluster the entire season on these game times.
I thought it was changed.
Plus, they got to figure out what the heck's going on in Arizona, like what time it is there.
They won't know what time it is. Somebody should call Arizona and go, hey, welcome to the league. We just want to give you a heads up here. You will not know what time the game is.
Yeah. It's you know what? I think I'm going to divest myself from those complaints.
Really?
I'm done with it.
Well, you did your part.
I mean, I've called about everybody, and forget it. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, Craig and Oakmont, love the year. Were you going to spit your water out?
It was because you say that until you get the first release, and then you're going to get all lit up again.
Yeah, you're right. Craig and Oakmont, love the year-long tribute to the greatest Mountaineer. I grew up in Nutter Fort playing Jerry West basketball, Babe Ruth baseball. They were equals in my mind, and I assumed every kid in America played Jerry West. I'm begging you, please don't ever play the Jelly Roll MGK song ever again. It stinks like hard garbage. I didn't play that, did I?
You didn't play it once. I just mentioned it. I said it was out there using the music bed from Country Roads.
Okay.
Pretty interesting statement there, isn't it?
What's that?
He played Jerry West basketball and Babe Ruth baseball. They were equals in my mind. I'm sure a lot of people would share that sentiment, right? Think about that. Think about what he said. Pretty good. That's a pretty good line.
Texter, listening to the Over-Under Part 1, there's a mention of West Virginia connections in the city of Houston. I lived there in 11-12. While there, I took a look at the Alumni Association and realized that if Harris County, Texas was in West Virginia, it would rank exactly in the middle of West Virginia counties for the number of WVU grads, including a guy at my church. There are West Virginians everywhere. Also, Jennifer Garner. She was born in Houston, Hoppy. Didn't know that. I had to look that up.
Didn't know that.
And, of course, Dustin Garrison. I've lived in 8 states, and we're everywhere. Evan in Iowa. Texture, since you're brewing beer and potentially rolling out koozies, how about offering and efforting a Three Guys growler? I imagine your student support could create a variety of cool graphics. I'd love to lug a jug each of Kirchevale and Three Guys Lager from the food court back to our tailgate, signed by Dino in Annapolis via Beckley.
Kirchville not available.
We do have growlers, and when we first released the beer, as a matter of fact, I still got a case up in my office.
Really?
On the floor there. Yeah. I think Dave's doing more growlers, isn't he?
Probably. I don't know that. Probably. I would assume he's on that.
Texter.
We'll work on that, Dino.
Three Guys. Hello. This text is directed at the Senator. I love my Three Guys game day grind iced.
There you go.
I am with Brad. There it is. I even picked up a nice glass for Mountaineer Roasting while I was in town recently.
Excellent.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Thank you.
He also asked, how on earth does Pro Football Focus come up with the numbers like big time throw, et cetera, on all of these quarterbacks? How many people work there? And do they just watch film 24/7? Love the show, and I can't wait to be at the Penn State game, the Three Guys GI Doc. So we got the GI Doc drinking cold brew coffee and ice.
I like it. It's really good.
So that must be all right for your stomach then if a GI Doc's
that's a good
drinking
point.
it.
Must be.
Right?
No, I don't have stomach issues with it. It's good. Got one right here. Hop again.
Ice?
That's turned in my treat for Three Guys. I make myself there a nice little iced coffee to come in here for the show. Game day grind. Thank you.
Three Guys before the game. Text line says unconfirmed reports out of the Kanawha River today that Lou Wendell has debuted a new model. So here's the deal, man. That picture was taken off of a pontoon boat, but it seems as though that red car had seen better days. The car fell
It's
in
a
the
red
river.
car in the
river. In the drink. Yeah, in the drink.
That's in the canal?
I don't know what, the guy just sent a picture. It looks like something had a situation there. New watercraft.
Get your Lou Wendell boat out there and pull that
That's what they can do.
sucker out of there.
So if you wanted to take a Lou Wendell craft out there to help out, Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they sell Avalon pontoon boats, premier pontoon boats made 100% here in the United States of America. And also, as we've been telling you lately,
get a hitch on that.
Those Gator Tough John series, those G3s that they sell are absolutely idyllic. You can go out there, durability, dependability, and value. Just awesome. The key elements needed for an avid outdoorsman and the G3 Johns provide an array of all welded models for hunting to fishing, everything in between. Check it out. The good folks at Lou Wendell Marine Sales.
Is that what you call a bass boat?
You could certainly get bass off that. That's not a traditional looking bass. Like that Steve Dunlap boat that he has.
Yeah. All
fiberglassed out there. Have you ever seen that thing, Brad?
I've seen that thing.
Yeah.
You think I've seen that thing?
Yeah.
You think Dunlap brings pictures in of the fish he caught?
Oh, my gosh. Every week.
He keeps his cars out of his garage and he puts the boat in there.
Does he know that the boat actually goes
True
in the
story.
water so it can handle the rain?
Like he tried to, he had a 2-car garage. I had a 3-car garage when I lived near him. He tried to sublet my garage.
Sure did.
He came up to me and goes, "Hey man, you got a 3-car garage?" Like, "Hey, I put my boat in there." I said, "Nah, we're good."
He fishes all the time. He and Dave McMichael, former West Virginia assistant football coach.
Yeah. Hey, let me show you this food we're going to do. This is what we're talking about for Kevin Kane and Rev Kev's barbecue at the food court. We're going to have tons of different types of food, drink, and all that kind of stuff. So that is a look at the brisket from last week's cook that Kevin did. It is absolutely meat candy, all right? So here's what they're going to do. If you would like to purchase, you can buy it by the pound. That would be a pound container right there. And you can buy pulled pork, pulled chicken by the pound, and the brisket. So they've got a platter, a
pan
that you can buy. This is the deal. But you got to do this in advance. Ready? That right there is called barbecue in a box. And what that has in it is layers of you can, well, this is when you go there, okay? This is when you go there. You can say, the meat I want is this meat. You get one of 3 choices. The crunch I want is this. You can put tater tots, mac and cheese, whatever you want in there.
There's a base. I think he
There's
calls
a
it
base,
the base of that. Yeah.
And then you put your other toppings on there. You get to pick three of those toppings, like coleslaw or pickles or whatever, and then they put it all in there, and that's $10 American money.
Really?
$10.
That's a heck of a deal.
And then you just get in there with a spoon or a fork, and you just crank away at that thing. But
so
here's
a couple different options, right? So you can get that pan that has all 3 in there.
You can buy it by the pound. You can buy it by the box if you just want to, you're quickly, hey, I'm just grabbing a little bit. Now, if you would, Austin, give me here we go. Watch this. So the game day pan that you could pick up on Friday or Saturday, you get a whole brisket, which is about 8 pounds. You get 2 pounds of his pulled pork. You get 2 pounds of his pulled chicken. Wow. And you can pick it up on Friday or Saturday. You just take it wherever you want. So what that is, there's 50 of those available per weekend.
Just 50.
Just 50. Oh. It is, here's what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh.
Here's what I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
You know, auction?
No, I'm not going to auction it.
No, although you might need to because those are going to go.
Yeah, they're going to go. There's 50 of them. I'm a food snob.
Yes.
And I'll never steer you wrong on food.
True.
And if it is some sucky-ass food, I'm not going to tell you to go eat it. I'm telling you, I give this my 5-star gold seal. It's awesome.
Would recommend?
Absolutely would do it. They're $200. 8 pounds of brisket, sliced and ready for you. 2 pounds of pulled pork, 2 pounds of chicken. Pre-order it. How do you do that? Super simple. Here's the website. By the way, all this money goes, Kevin's Barbecue is a 501(c). It goes to the source, and they help children, among other things. They give them lunchbox. Fridays, elementary school kids, they get 3,000 calories to take home. That's what they're doing. Go to thesourcewv.org. Thesourcewv.org. And when you go there, instantly you will see order pan Kev's Barbecue. Boom. You make one click. You're there. Add it to the cart. $200, name. They'll give you a confirmation. You show up with your confirmation number. Friday or Saturday, they give you the pan, and you're in business.
That's, $200 is not a small amount, but it's a heck of a deal if you're feeding a bunch of people, getting ready for your tailgate. That simplifies a lot of things right there.
Trust me. $200 is when you're going to get 8 pounds of brisket, 2 pounds of pork, 2 pounds of chicken, and then you take care of the rest of the stuff. It's a deal. The hassle, done.
Yeah.
Now, that's not all, though, at the food court.
Oh, no.
That's not all.
Items. No, you got other items.
So,
what do you got?
New beer will be launching. More details on that coming next week in collaboration with Parkersburg Brewing Company. So that'll be on site. So while you're there getting your to-go box from Rev Kev, grab yourself a nice cold beer there, Hop, as you head over to the game.
When are you announcing it? Because it starts on Wednesday.
Monday.
We're doing a show Monday.
Are you going to be here?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to announce it then. Unveil it. I think people will like it, though. Be very, very, you'll like it.
We sampled it.
It was very good. You liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it'll be very popular. Then the wine bar will be there. Our friends Duke and Abby from the wine bar will be there.
Terrific.
Again, they were there last year. So, plus the other point of that, guys, as we said last year and we saw with everybody, it's just a fun gathering
Fellowship.
point.
Yeah,
just come out and enjoy.
Yeah,
so good food, good drinks, good fun.
Who
come
was
out
there
and
that made that blue drink last year?
Duca, wine bar.
Duca.
I ended up with one of those.
You got to ride home.
Yeah, I did.
Good thing your boy was there.
Chuck was there.
Chuck took Hoppy home. Yeah, that's all there. And again, all the proceeds from Kevin's Barbecue go to the source. And you want to learn more about the source, go to thesourcewv.org. And they do fantastic things to help folks out. And that's what it is. All of the dollars raised go there. Like last year, we did it twice. And Kevin raised, was it $16,000 or $17,000 in 2 weekends, and all that money went to the source. Check it out.
Also, we're working on dessert options.
Yeah, gotta have a little sweet.
Efforting.
Mm-hmm. Wayne in Salem, Virginia, huge fan of the world champion Mountaineers in your show. This game will be special to me because I'm taking my 7-year-old son to his first Mountaineer game.
Nice.
I can't wait to meet you guys at the food court. Over-under question. West Virginia will have 4 sacks against Penn State. Thanks for your entertaining content.
That's high. Brad, that's high.
That's a big number. Probably unders the number. And remember, it doesn't have to be sacks. Get in there, get a little pressure.
Yeah.
Get him off his mark. Get some pressure.
Would you go 2.5? What about 2.5?
That still seems like a big number.
You would not go over 2.5?
I don't think.
Okay.
It also depends on
get some pressure.
Where the game is.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know he has to throw the ball? Then you can kind of have a little bit easier shot at going to get him. If he doesn't have to throw the ball, then it's tougher. Okie from Jumping Bridge writes.
Jumping Branch.
You're absolutely right. Thank you,
sir. You said Jumping Bridge. I'm afraid you're thinking about something over there.
Jumping Branch is a lot safer than Jumping Bridge. Great show, guy. What county is that?
Jumping Branch? I don't know. Efforting.
Great show, guys. I don't see anything like this anywhere else. Nobody has a Hoppy. Major injuries will decide the winner of the Big 12 title. The heartbreak will be devastating, while the Big 12 will become football's version of the days of our lives. Football's through the goalposts, and these are the days of our lives. Don't stop, ever stop. 3 guys. Love y'all.
Hold on. Why is your phone on volume 4,000?
And your flashlight's on, by the way,
And
too.
your flashlight's on, and I can hear you typing. What? You got.
That's about 3 things I got to deal with on my phone.
Hey, do me a favor, because I'm OCDing right now. Say to Siri, turn my flashlight off.
I'm not sure Siri is on.
Do it.
Hey, Siri. Siri's not on.
How the hell is Siri not on?
It's
What
off.
are you, 96?
Jumping brain.
Just stop. It's embarrassing. Is this show live?
I don't even know if we're recording still. Turn the flashlight off.
Well, I can't write. I will.
Turn the flashlight off.
Jumping Branch is in Summers County. I can't find the flashlight icon.
Give him your phone. Give him.
Oh, wait.
Give it to me.
Is it off?
No. Give it to me. Go on to the next thing. I don't even know what
This is unbelievable.
There, it's off.
Oh. Hey, there's no dial tone now.
Turn the volume down.
I don't know why it started doing that. I didn't.
Who knows why it started doing that? You certainly didn't press a button. It's your phone.
Hoppy, why?
How do you send a fax on this?
Hoppy, why it came on is not the issue. The more important thing is the ability to know how to shut it off.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right, continue on.
Texter said, I also went from becoming a disc jockey to being a news director, heading up a staff of 1. I stayed in that job long enough to get through nursing school. That was well over 30 years ago. Can you confirm that the dean was once known to his listeners as Dr. Hoppy Fever? There he is, right there. Dr. Hoppy Fever. There's Dr. Johnny Fever and a young Hoppy back in the old studio.
Oh, yeah.
Doing your show. You were younger then, Hoppy.
Working up a sweat.
Yeah. You were animated there.
I typically am.
You get fired up. I like it.
Yeah.
Texter. I think West Virginia Nation, WVU Nation, Mountaineer Nation. I've never seen it written WVU Nation. It was weird when I read that. It's Mountaineer Nation. I think Mountaineer Nation is extremely lucky. Garrett Green came in, sat behind Austin Kendall and Jared Deggy. Then his 3rd year, when I think most dudes think they're ready, he sits behind JT Daniels. I'm sure that was tough to say the least. And then he has a quarterback battle with a 2nd-year freshman. Finally gets to be the starter, and then in week 1, he has a starting receiving group who most wouldn't even be on the team a month later, and missed basically 2 games. And he put up numbers like he did. Now he's not tethered to any of that stuff. He can just play. I'm excited to see what he will do. Sorry for the long text. Should have been an email. Signed by Evan via Derek Christian's St. Albans. There you
Can't
go.
wait to watch him. Such a critical piece of what West Virginia is going to do. Can he replicate or improve upon the unbelievable season he had last year?
That's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big question. Yeah, I'm fired up. Looking forward.
Oh, guess who I just got a text from?
Who's that?
Christian Miller.
Is he listening? Is he listening in on the studio
No,
somewhere?
No, well, get this. McAfee's doing his show live here next Friday.
So that's what I'm talking about.
It is.
Day late and dollar short Christian. Story of his life. Story of his life.
I appreciate him participating during our live broadcast, but
So we're back Monday. This was the pre-preview. Now we're going to do the preview. You're going to break down the numbers on Monday.
Jeez. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, fine.
Awesome.
You're busy next week. You're all over the place twice.
I'm all over the place. But I'll be here Monday. Then I'll be I'm at the Chamber of Commerce Business Summit for a couple days, doing my show from there
Down in Greenbrier County?
at the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
And then I'll be back Thursday. I'll see you at the event Thursday evening.
I'll see you at the Greenbrier Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
Finally.
That's right.
Finally, we can end the years and years and years of trials and tribulations that people have with trying to separate the two of us. Like, do you think we'll walk around and then he'll go in and give you a hey Tony and give me a hey Hoppy?
We should not be seen together at any time, so that
Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right, we're out.
I'll miss you because probably I won't get there until you're. No, I might see you.
You're doing your show there Wednesday?
Yeah,
I'll see you.
I'll see you there.
Three Guys Before the Game brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Go-Mart. Get a Go-Mart rewards card. Instantly save. Get rewards points, food, and fuel when you come to the game. When you go to high school games, get it. Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Those G3 Series boats, super neat. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way. Get that awesome 24-ounce camo tumbler, and for the rest of your life, you can refill it for the price of a small coffee. It's a heck of a deal. Three Guys also brought to us by Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond numbers.
And they're keeping track of which episode this is?
We're going to have an audit. We should send that to Mike and say, all right, if I figure this out, how many shows have we actually done? I do know this.
What if it comes off, we're like 14 off?
It's possible.
I don't know, to be quite honest. I think this was 568, give or take 7 of them. Yeah. We're back on Monday. I do know that. Have yourself a great weekend. See y'all.